All right, good morning. Welcome to the London session. I hope you're doing well. Today is Thursday, and let's see what the market will have for us. Okay, so I decided to start a bit early because I mentioned in the chat that I have some stuff to take care of, so I have to kind of come in at. Oh, I was going to do a brief session from 9:30 to 10, but I decided to come in a bit early so that I can do at least a good 45 minutes. So let's start with the dollar. I think on Tuesday, today is Thursday, so we had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So on Tuesday, during our session, we were somewhere down here, I guess. Let me check. 17th, yes, we were somewhere down here, somewhere in here, and I gave you the narrative that I wanted to see on the dollar index, right? I wanted to see a reversal below this low, and we had that, and that translated to the foreign currencies giving us a move to the downside. So pretty much we had euro melt down yesterday, and then we had pound also melt down. New Zealand rejected. We actually took a partial profit on New Zealand yesterday, and Aussie as well. We've taken partial. We are looking for continuation to the downside, so fingers crossed we get continuation to the downside. At least for now, I think we need to come back and clear out this low here. This day or today started, and then they rally up. I was awake till like 2:30. I was watching the news event that was coming out at 2:30, and at 2:30 basically nothing happened, so I decided to go back to bed. And when I woke up, I think I started opening my eye at 5:30. So price was up here, and I was like, what? That's not possible. And then I went back to sleep because I love having a good at least 4 or 5 hours sleep. So I wasn't gonna wake up and come and sit in front of the screen. So I went back to sleep, and then when I woke up at 7, price was down here, and I'm looking for a continuation to the downside anyway. I have a little bit of a concern on dollar index with the gap down, right? Market open and then a gap down, and they've rallied back up to fill that gap and then drop down again. So that has got me a little bit worried in terms of looking for a continuation to the upside. And we also have this fair value gap here. So what I want to see, it's a run to close above this imbalance today, this afternoon, and I'll draw a line. All right, I'll draw a line here that if we go below that low, that's it. I think it might drop down further. All right, so I would not be interested in selling the foreign currencies anymore. Okay, so that's where we shouldn't breach. If we go below that, chances are they're gonna continue going lower, and then obviously foreign currencies are gonna go higher. So use that as a filter for you to not get caught in unnecessary drawdowns. Okay, let me put you onto a trade that I'm currently in. Oil, I think oil is coming to optimal trade entry here. I know it's a bit too late, but this was a pullback to go back inside that imbalance. You have an imbalance in here, an old low here, and another big imbalance. So I think oil is gonna attack this low and probably trade to this one here. That was the level I anticipated a buy from before all this move happened. Okay, now they've engineered equal low, so I'm kind of expecting them to go and sweep that and hit that. Now whether we go up from there, that will I will see. Okay, we still have that trade that I shared. This is for my private group. We still have firm swing high, so at least we should see price come back down to attack this retracement. Right, so I'm still interested in this pair coming back down. All right, and Aussie also coming back down to attack this low, these lows here. Another thing that I did was projecting that up candle, right, projecting that last up candle to look for targets to the downside. So that up candle brings me 27 here and 618 here. I'll be happy if for the week, if we get down here, that will be enough for me for the week, and then I'll see what they will do next. So Aussie, I'm looking for price to come and sweep this low and potentially drop to this level here, and that will be the same for New Zealand. If you project this up candle, kind of seems to get it right. Let me zoom in. So if you project that, by the way, the yen pairs, the one that I shared on Tuesday, they are dropping like crazy. So this one, if you project to the downside, that brings you here and here. That's why I'm looking for. Let's see if they can get it. Maybe during the New York session, not now, because right now it looks like it wants to retrace with that dollar index doing what it's doing. All right. Okay. Dollar CAD. Now this pair has murdered me overnight. Let's see where I went in. So before I went to bed, I anticipated today being an up candle because we happened to close above that. So I was looking at this high to that low for price to trade to 50%. Right. So I'm looking for price, or before going to bed last night, I was looking for price to trade to 50% today. And what I did was inside this imbalance, I placed a buy limit. Okay, I placed a buy limit. So market open, it triggered me in. I was up until I think I did not see this one. Wait, that's when I went to bed. So I was confident that we're gonna wake up in the morning and then we'll be up here. So I left my stop loss right below this candle's low because I didn't believe it should come all the way down there. But guess what? That's exactly what it did. So right now I'm out of the trade and I'm currently waiting to see if we can close above this maybe New York session, and then I'll look for a buy to go to that 50%. Okay, so let's see. Dollar index is not making it fun. Yeah, dollar index is not making it fun. But it is what it is, right? Whatever it gives, we will take it. So let's see. Crude oil, gold. Let's talk about gold. Gold is currently stuck in this small range in here, but I still favor a move to attack this low. That's my bias. As long as we are below this high, that's my bias, or as long as we are below this high here, right, that's my bias. I'm looking for price to take out this low. Okay, so on gold, even though I don't have an entry, this is where I anticipated them retracing to for me to sell short, right in here, and I didn't get that. So I'm on the sidelines with bearish bearish bias. You can see already on the demo account so short. I was trying to sell the candle because it did run this buy side and then confirm the swing high in here. So I was looking at this as the next candle to retrace and then go down. So as soon as that one opened, I saw short and they decided to pull back. So that's where I'm wrong if they go above it. As long as we are below that, I'm still favoring down here. Okay, but on a normal trade, I don't have an entry. Okay, I mean on a proper account, I don't have an entry. what will negate this trade, looking for price to go up there, we'll have to come on trade all the way below this last down candle. Okay, so as long as we are above this low here, you can still anticipate that move coming up again. If you look down, we have a small imbalance right there, so that could be where they might form the low. The price might ultimately reject again. So watch this low, and candles, maybe that's where they want to form the low. And then once you see the low formed, maybe it might require another one down candle. 3 is enough. I mean, 3 is perfect. If it's 2, great. 3, perfect, but no more than 3. So we have 1, 2. The next maybe 1 hour candle will drop down, take out this, and then that 1 hour candle will start rejecting, and then we have the 11 o'clock candle trade back above the 10 o'clock candle, and then we start looking for reasons for price to go up. Okay, so pretty much that is it on these ones. Bitcoin, we finally got Bitcoin to drop down. I think on Tuesday you saw me with that trade, and you'll be thinking, why are you holding on to that short? It's because long term we are bearish. So where I'll be wrong will be up here, and it's just me testing out my theory that come up with. I'm trying to develop some theories, so if those theories are right, then price should not go up here. Okay, hence I can stay in a short as long as price is in here. All right, now if you go onto the daily, right, this high is where I don't think price should go because of this candle and that candle. But if it goes up there, what I will anticipate is gonna stop me out, and then it's gonna reverse, and then I'll use that to sell short again, because that'll be where the big drop is gonna happen. All right, but I don't want to see it go up there, hence I leave my stop loss there. Okay, but I told you my favorite was the Ethereum pair, and I showed you where they're supposed to be trading to, that low and that low, and they've swept it. So on Tuesday when we had our session, I told you look here and here. I think it's gonna go one more time down, but once it does that, I want you to be careful with shorts. If you do trade it, if you do trade the futures, I don't know if people are because I think some parts of the world they've kind of capped it where they've made it hard for people to trade futures. Right, they are making it hard, let me put it that way. They're making it hard for people to trade futures, hence I don't know if people actually trade it like they trade forex, because at some point I did trade it back in November. Back in November I shorted Bitcoin up here. Oops. Yeah, I shorted Bitcoin up here, right, with the futures. I traded it like trading forex, and I held on to it till it went for this low. But after that trade, I got an email from that broker that, you know, if I'm not professional, they will not let me trade it, because for some reason they're protecting quote unquote retail traders, right? So if I'm not trading professional, then I can't trade it. So that's it. I couldn't trade Bitcoin futures like I would trade Forex. But there are some normal brokers that will allow you to trade. I think with my broker IC Market, they do allow me to trade it. So just those two. I just trade those two. I trade the Ethereum and Bitcoin like I trade Forex. Okay, so look for one more run below this low. I like this imbalance in here. Okay, watch that. If they trade back into it, that should trigger a sell. It shouldn't, but if it does, it should trigger a sell to continue going down. Let's go to the Aussie pairs, because this is the one that I gave you on Tuesday. Right, Tuesday I showed you how I was anticipating the high of the week to form and then a continuation to the downside. So we had a big drop yesterday, and then overnight, I don't know what the hell they were doing, but gave a massive pullback, and then we can see it continue going down. I'm not in this one on an account. I wish I was. I wish I was in this one on an account, but I don't. I went in for the majors, right? Because I was expecting dollar to give me some bull run to the upside, so I went in for the majors, whilst this one has given some decent drops. I think it's gonna continue going down, right? So yeah, I see Market. They do allow me to trade it. I think it's gonna continue going down because the indices are super bearish. They're gonna continue going down. I love when you trade the weekly ranges. Okay, it's I think by far one of the best kind of trades you might want to be looking out for. Forget scalping. And I'm not saying scalping is not good, but if you learn how to anticipate the weekly expansion, it's rewarding. Okay, sometimes you're gonna get it wrong, but if you learn how to anticipate the weekly expansion, right, it's very, very rewarding. So in the private group, those are the trades that I try to send them every week, right? I try to send them the weekly expansion trades. So I anticipate where the high or low is going to form, and then once it forms, then I try to give the trade. But on a daily basis, we look for some in and out trades that price will present themselves, but the main trades that I give to them is mostly weekly expansion, because once you catch the weekly where the weekly is supposed to expand to, you don't have to worry yourself. Like this trade here, okay, once the high of the week once the high of the week was formed, that was it, right? You don't have to worry that price is gonna go up again, right? It's just free fall. Okay, same thing with the New Zealand. Once price formed the high of the week, it's just free fall. The downside to this is where they are going to form it. So most of the time, in my trading, if I get it wrong on a Monday, I sit on my hands, because the urge to try and anticipate it on a Monday is so strong. But not so strong, it's just market condition will present some ideas that will look like they're forming the high of the week, like this one here. Okay, on Monday, when they gave that massive drop, right, and we've already pulled back. It's not like the week ended here and then we open here, right? The week ended up here, and that was already a pullback. So with that drop, I anticipated that, okay, it's either we're going to drop from here, or they're going to take it up a little further into OTE relative to previous week's range. So this high to that low, that high to that low, OTE will be right, OT will be there, right? So on Monday, those are the two trades that I gave, where I'm anticipating the high of the week and then a continuation to the downside. And this one happened to fail, and then they went to the second one, and then you can see what happened next. So these are the kind of trades you want to take during the course of the week. It takes some time to actually master it for you to be able to trade it properly. But once you understand what you're looking for and how it forms, you want to trade like that every single week. Okay, so if you go back to here on oil, last week, that's the same trade that I gave, but we didn't get an entry, right? We waited for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for the low to form, and then we got a confirmation that price was going to expand to the upside, and then we basically try to get in here to go and attack that high. So that's the weekly expansion, right? And this week, both New Zealand and Aussie, which are playing up right now, that's the same kind of trade. We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday run up, and then we saw a rejection. So on, I think Tuesday, once I saw market starting to give some rejection, we entered short. Okay, hard to trade it. It's gonna take some time. You have to learn quite not a lot of things, but you have to do a little bit of studies before you can trade the weekly range expansion. I can't cover all of that here now, so we do have in the educational section in our private group, in the educational section, there is actually one whole entire session just talking about that. All right, so look for continuation to the downside on this pair, all right, Aussie and New Zealand. The pound pairs or crosses here, they're kind of in the consolidation right now, so you might want to be careful trading this. Okay, but it's consolidation to upside that I'm looking for, not consolidation to downside. So buy when you get like bullish order blocks. Right now, as this candle is trading right now, okay, it's kind of confirming, well, it's not 10 o'clock yet, but once we hit 10 o'clock in the next what time frame it is, H4. Once we hit 10 o'clock, if this candle, okay, confirms a close above that high, that's bullish. We have clean equal highs up here for price to come and sweep. All right, so you can look for that. Pound New Zealand, that one is still stuck in a range. Very, very painful to watch. I don't think I'll touch this right now. I just don't like it. Euro New Zealand, this morning before going to bed, same thing. I was anticipating a run above this equal high, and you can see we came very close to it, and then I don't know, I think from 3 o'clock something happened, and let me check my news feed because I don't understand. Maybe they were watching me. They wanted me to go to sleep first before they moved the market. Uh, 5 hours ago, right? Is it 5 hours ago? So it's 10 o'clock. So 7 hours ago. 7 hours ago. Yeah, there's no high impact news that hit the market. So I'm not sure why, the market moved crazy like that. Anyway, I'm also expecting this pair to give me a rally to attack this high, right? If we trade and close below this low here, I'm not interested anymore. Maybe you might want to come back down and attack this low. It doesn't have to. This is where price is currently stuck in. It's stuck in that imbalance. All right. So as long as we are here, my eye is still to the upside because that's the last imbalance on the daily time frame, and we've not had any kind of movement outside that. So I'm looking for higher prices on Euro New Zealand. I just don't have any kind of entry. This is a good one if they're able to get down there. Right, if they get down here, you can use that. I like that imbalance, that run, and then that short-term low. So if it does drop there, you can use that to attempt a long. If you get a long, don't hold on to it to go to the moon. You can partial out before it gets to this order block, and then you can let the rest run, okay, with a stop below here, because if they go below that, that's no good. Okay, and if you get the trade, let's say price trades down here, right? If price trades down there on the H4 time frame, we should not close below this low. Okay, so if you enter the trade or you get the trade and price stays down here till the H4 closes below that, you need to cancel the trade. You want it to drop down and then reject, so the H4 will be a wick right below this low, okay, not a close candle below that. Okay, and Euro Aussie, yesterday I was looking for same run above that equal high. I still favor that run. So as long as we are inside this, I still favor that run to that high. All right, it might struggle a little bit in here because of that swing high, but you know, I'm still favoring higher prices. That's my belief, that's my bias. I can be wrong, and this can reject and come all the way back down, and that's fine. But if it's able to go above that high, you can project, or you can project that down candle to the upside and then take a long to target those. So if they're able to go above this down candle, you project it to the upside, and it's going to give you 618 and then 2%, and you can get a long to go and target those levels. Okay. Indices, I mentioned that indices are gonna continue going down. We're gonna take out this low. That's also gonna take out that low. Below that low, we have, I think, drop down to that daily. We have that imbalance. I think that's where price is going. And then Nasdaq, I'm sorry, Dow, I think it might be on the H4. There's nothing on the H4, so I think price will go for this low. Alright, price might go for that low. Okay. All right. So pretty much that's all I have this morning. Anyone got any question? Anything you want to ask? Okay, gold is coming back to that imbalance. Let's see if we can reject. We have a previous day's high just above it, so that's going to be fun. Oil is dropping nicely. Nasdaq, I just mentioned where it's trying to reach for, right? That imbalance there. I think, let me go to one of the pairs. Yesterday gave some incredible movement. I did not trade it. I'm just gonna show you. There you go. So if you put this on the 5 minutes chart, look what it's doing. Was it on the 5 or 15? I think it was on the 5. It doesn't matter anyway. Whichever time frame you put it, you're gonna get similar. So here you had, during the time, you know, you want to take the trade on Nasdaq, oh sorry, S&P. It's from 130 going, right? That's the 8:30 9:30 window for in index trading. Where was that? Here. here, 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 and then here, and then today, this morning, here, and here. If you have that indicator, fair value gap, just search for fair value gap, and as it keeps dropping on a 5-minute chart, any pullback to a fair value gap, you want to sell short. All right. You need to get that fair value gap indicator. Okay, if you get that, then any pullback to a fair value gap, that is going to give you a potential sell. Let's go back and look at silver. I don't know why you love trading silver. I don't know why you love trading silver, but I think the cleaner price action is always going to be gold. Silver is a bit of a mess. Okay. Let's look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Previous week range starts from here to there. Let's do the OTE. So we did get to OTE, and then price started rejecting. We've not seen any terrible kind of change in market structure. All right, it's been so dead coming down, but it has got to OTE. So on the daily, we have 1, 2, 3 with that close below that. So this pulling back up inside this down candle, I like this auto block here. Right, it's similar to what gold is trying to do. There's an up candle just above previous day high, so you can attempt a sell here, and for targeting this high and that low, measure that into 2, and then partial out at 50. I'll take it just before that imbalance there. Okay, and then partial out again below this low, and that should be, I mean, it should be content with that for the week, because we have high resistance down here. So price is gonna struggle unless we get some incredible price action, and then it will wipe it again. But if you do get that partial out here, there, and be content with that. Okay, let's check the weekly and see where it's trying to reach for. Okay, so if we do that, and I kind of recently taught to you anyway, we've closed below the low on a weekly time frame basis. We don't want to see price close back above it, right? So we should see what continuation to 127. Right, so long term 127 on 1991 is an ideal target. If it closes back inside the range, forget selling. If it closes back inside, forget selling. The daily, let's go back to daily. Look for the daily to keep closing above previous day's high, especially right now with this high. Say this week we don't come down here and we stay like that, okay, that will be a sign that they might want to retrace, because this is overextended, and I showed you why it's overextended without actually using the indicators, because it's a weekly time frame and it's gone for this low, so it's overextended, and that can lead to when it's overextended like that, that can lead to a potential pullback, right? So if they're going to pull back, then chances are it's going to snap back to the mean, or 50%, okay? And for those of you on YouTube, this is the indicator that I use to show them. It's always going to be outside the band, right? So whenever it's outside the band, chances are it's going to snap back to the mean, which is the 50%. So your range high to the low, if it goes above it, okay, on a weekly time frame, if it goes above it, you want to watch it and see, does it close back inside the range? Because if it does close back inside it, you want to look for sales to come to 50%. Okay, same thing here. The last time price went down below that low, it reject, snap back to 50%. So right now, because we are below this low, you don't want to be pushing too much for the sell, but we closed below it. So if that's the case, I'll still look for continuation. I'll still look for continuation to the downside, and if I'm wrong and we stay inside for this week, then I will look for buys to come back to at least 50%. Could we look at Swiss yen? Of course we can look at Swiss yen. I think it's sideways. Okay, it's pulling back. I was checking the is this yesterday? Yesterday was 18th. I was checking Finvit, okay, and for some reason the Swiss has gained some strength, and I'm not sure where that strength is coming from. Give me 1 second, let me check, because I don't like trading the Swiss pair, so I don't do analysis on that over the weekend. Let me check what the seasonal tendency is up to for the Swiss, because that bullish run is not random. Yeah, actually the Swiss forms a low, or it should form a low on the 18th of the 18th of May. All right, so let's go and check the futures. So if it's formed a low, then that's why the Swiss has gained some strength. All right, let's check the daily. So actually formed a low before the 18th. Let's look at the monthly. Weekly. So market maker, sell model. We're looking for price to attack the original consolidation. And lo and behold, it gets here and then it gives you a bounce. So I think this might be a bounce and it will come back down again. So where is it trying to bounce to? We have a volume imbalance in here. Today's what? Thursday. 1, 2, 3, 4. Watch that level. Okay, it can hit that and then reject. The way it's going up, it looks like you can see it's all up candles, right? It looks like it's manipulation. It's too quick to the upside in a bearish trend. We've not reversed yet, so it's too quick to the upside. Watch that level, and then once we hit that, maybe it will give a rejection. Okay, so once we get that, then you come back to this pair, right? We come back to this pair. So I think we are not far off from hitting that level. And let's go back to this on the weekly. We're still inside the previous week's range anyway, so I don't think it causes for any alarm. This is still to me a pullback. Okay, so watch that area. We do have a swing high in here as well, so watch that area. We should see some rejection happen somewhere in here, right? So keep an eye on that area. We should see a rejection. If it goes above it, you don't have experience with it yet, but if it goes above it, you want to sell because it's high resistance and we are bearish. If you're bearish and price runs high resistance, you want to sell. I don't think it should. Where we are is enough. It should just reject. But if it's able to go above it, you want to sell and look for price to come back down and attack this low. Yeah. That's what I would do with that pair. Any other question? I think I've ended up actually being here the entire session. Okay, so it's 10 o'clock and we can see the it has rejected off from that imbalance. It didn't actually even go down there. So your next step is for this candle to close above that. Okay, or ideally I think you might want to wait for this one instead. Okay, because that one did not close below this. Okay, that did not close below that, so I'm interested in these two down candles. So you might want to wait for that one, and then once it closes above that, then you can look for the long. All right, so wait for price to close above this and then look for the long. I don't like this one, it didn't close below that. Any more questions? Let me cancel this trade. Let me cancel this trade because we still have it there and people might think it's still valid. I mean, if not because it's retracing after taking out all the targets, then I would let's cancel that trade. Okay, so that was the trade from last week, right? It did hit the target, so it's no more important for me to be looking for the long. You might trade there and then rejection. That's where I'm actually gonna close the shorts that I took right now. The gold traded into that imbalance after taking out previous day's high. You might want to watch that, okay, if you want to hunt for short sells on the lower time frame. On the 5 minutes time frame, you can hunt for sells, okay. And pretty much that's it. Any questions? Aussie yen has confirmed a swing high on the H4. Perfect. That's what we want to see. Now we should, go down. Look at this equal low here, right there. That should be 618 is almost gonna bring you to that, so you can target that. Any final questions before I need to be watching this? All right, let me turn on the fair value gap on this one as well. Let's see if this one gave me a trade. Yeah. How about you? Yeah, you don't work on that, do you? Fair value gap, fair value gap, fair value gap, fair value gap. If you learn what fair value gap is, right, you will be amazed with what you're gonna see with that. Okay, we are bearish. We have 5 minutes chart. Boom, pull back, sell short. Boom, pull back, sell short. Boom, pull back, sell short. Boom. We didn't actually get into that, right? What's your target on GA? GA is in a consolidation, so you know we actually didn't close above it. And this auto block is making it hard. It's in a consolidation, so I still favor a run above this high first. This high and that high, I favor a run above that. And then if they get there, then they should go for this as well. I know sometimes it's crazy how there'll be I know how it feels. You must be thinking, why am I not in other trades and I'm stuck on this pair, right? Where it's consolidating. The mind sometimes is very tricky, right? We just created a fair value gap here. If it trades into it, that should go down. The mind is sometimes tricky, that it will not allow you to, not all the time, but sometimes it happens where you be interested in something, but something will catch your attention, like this one here. This one caught your attention and you kind of I won't say black out, but it's like you don't see any other pair. Your whole attention will be on this pair because for some reason you have an interest in it and you can't seem to, get that interest away, or you can't seem to break away from it. I've learned the hard way. When I see that I'm forcing something on a pair, I need to try and be aware. Okay, it's all about awareness. You try to be aware that, hang on, I think I'm focusing on this too much and it's not giving me what I'm looking for, so I might want to cut it and then go look for something else. Yeah, it happens. Like I said, I have done it several times, so I know what I'm talking about, where I'll just be so hung up onto a pair that I will put all my focus on that, and then I'll just ignore everything. Okay, guys, I need to go. Thank you very much for joining me. If you want to join us in our live sessions, obviously, make sure that you do it as soon as possible, because this is the time. This is the time to be part of the community. And I just close that trade. Boom. Done. That was it. Trade up here. Take the profit there. Done. Moving on. I'll probably buy if I get a break in market structure again. I think it's gonna react from that level. I have a strong feeling it's gonna react off from that level, because it's OTE to the pip. Yeah, 618 fair value gap, order block. Anyway, or maybe it will take out this low. I'll see. If it gets here, I'll buy it. I'll buy it down here. You just came back from work. You've not missed anything. There's nothing to miss in this market. It's 24/7. You have missed a session, but you've not missed much, because the market is gonna move in New York session as well. All right, guys, it's time for me to go. Enjoy the rest of your day. Like I said, if you want to join the live sessions that I do in the New York session, just send a message in the general chat to the admin, and they'll help you to sign up. Okay. If you want to use my link, I'm not saying you should, but if you want to use my link, let me see if I can send that. Do I have it? I think I do. There you go. So if you want to use my link, then use this. Thanks for doing free live sessions. That's all right. Not everybody can make it to watch the private one, so at least when I do these ones, you get to watch what we do in the live, in the VIP. The VIP members will confirm what they get. All right, guys, stay blessed. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you on Tuesday for YouTube, and for VIP members, I will see you in the next 4 hours. Right?